Welcome to the FMC Lounge, everybody. I am your host, Joe for show, and in this video we are going to be talking about Ultimate Viessa and the massive buff that she got in season 2 that none of us really wasn't expecting until next month. As you can see right here on your screen, all 4 of Viessa abilities got a buff, and most of her Transcendant mods did as well. Now, one of the builds I'm going to show you revolves around the Cold-Bloodedness Transcendent mod, which works for base Viessa as well, but the other 2 builds are exclusively for Ultimate Viessa only. For our first build, the main thing we are going to be focusing on is Cold-Bloodedness. What this is going to do, if you don't know, it's going to increase our skill power, our skill cost is going to go lower, and our skill cooldown is going to go lower, which will allow us to spam our abilities more often. We are also going to run focus on fusion and focus on chill, so we could buff our first ability, our third ability, and our fourth one. Even though this is tech, it's still going to hit very hard because of the focus on chill. We are also going to run even more 2 cooldown mods, so we could spam our abilities more often. As you can see right here, I'm on a 15-second cooldown, but when Cold-Bloodedness is active, this is going to go down to like a 6 or 5-second cooldown. We also run 1 range mod, so our third ability and our fourth ability could reach out more and give more enemies. We are running 3 damage mods, crit damage mods. Now, you can run 4. You technically can get rid of focus on fusion. All of this really does is buff your ice shackles that are around your character that shoot out at enemies passively. So you can take this off and you can run a 4th damage mod if you want. I don't want a 4th crit damage mod. I'm perfectly happy with 3, so that's what we're running. I also run 1 HP and 1 defense mod with a little bit of a skill power buff. You can also take off Spear and Shield and put on a 4th crit damage mod if you want. I prefer not to because I don't like to be a glass cannon. That's just not my playstyle. But if that's how you play, go ahead and fit that on. And if you are going to be risky, you can take this off and put HP collector on here as well to help you stay alive when you're going to play that glass cannon build. The way this build works is when you're about to get in combat, you want to activate your second ability. The first thing you're going to do, if you see a group, you just drop your 4th, use the 1, use the 3, and you just rotate back and forth. And look, we already have our 3 back. I mean our 4. Now, if you're worried about your mana getting low, remember in 400% dungeons, the mana orbs, they will drop a lot, so you don't have to worry about your mana getting low at all. Now, for my reactor, I do use a skill crit hit rate and crit hit damage. You technically don't need a crit hit rate. You can go for a cooldown if you want. Crit hit damage is a must, but the second stat at the bottom, it's really up to you. Go crit hit rate, cooldown, or duration, or even chill skill. It's really up to you. Get whatever you prefer and fits your playstyle. Just make sure that it is a chill and fusion as well to boost both your abilities. Now, for my components, I do run 2 polar sets just for that little tiny percent of chill skill power, and I'm also running just 2 basic other components just for more defense and HP. Want to be a little bit tanky. Like I said, I don't want to be glass cannon. Some people, you will see them run a full 4 Slayer set for even more damage, but again, you are being more of a glass cannon. Just do whatever fits your playstyle, what's more comfortable for you. Now, when it comes to the weapon, Blue Beetle is a must, and the main reason why is it got a buff where the unique ability is doing 115% buff of a skill critical hit rate whenever you use a fusion skill, which we will be using when we spam our first and our third ability. Basically, this is about a 22% increase rate, so Blue Beetle is a must. I Pretty sure you do need a 4 out of 4 it to get 115. I'm not sure. I don't have just a basic blue beetle with no unique ability buff, so I can't confirm that. Hopefully one of you guys in the comments can. I'd appreciate it a lot. I will show you how blue beetle works. As you can see right here, we have 46% skill critical hit rate. We're going to use our fusion ability. We're going to go back and check, and it's at 64, so about a 20% buff, and it will last for 10 seconds. And when it comes to your other two weapons, it's mainly up to you. Use whatever you want. I switch this when I'm using it for bossing, like in 400% dungeon or void vessel. Obviously I have this on for void vessel as well. I'm going to fully max it out and test it out and see if I can use it on more than just the void vessel activities. But again, just use whatever weapons you feel like. Just this is the one that mandatory because it buffs your skill crit. Now for my other build, I'm gonna show you that I use for void vessel, 400% dungeons, other farming activity. We are using absolute zero. And the main reason why we're using this is because it's going to give us 100% skill critical hit rate. We are going to be at the max cap. One thing we got to remember when we're using absolute zero, it's one of the rare few mods in the game that will change all your abilities to a different archetype. As you can see right here is chill singular now, chill singular, chill singular, and chill singular. And these abilities used to be fusion and tech. Also, another thing that is different from this build compared to the cold-bloodedness is our second ability. On this build, we get to keep our frost road, which will give us our movement speed to allow us to keep up with the Freynas if they're using venom synthesis, or the bunnies as well. I want to show everybody how much skill critical hit rate absolute zero gives you. So if you notice, I do not have it equipped. We're going to check our stats. I'm at 42%, right? But if we go into Descendant module, now let's re-equip this and save it. I'm at 98%, basically max cap. And if you want to get even more max cap, you obviously, you can run a skill critical hit rate on your reactor, or you could run a 4th damage mod. 98 is basically perfect for me. But if you don't want to, you want to run a 4th damage mod, just get rid of your spear and shield, big glass cannon, and you'll be over the 100 cap for skill critical hit rate. With the 98 skill cap, this is what it looks like. You're always going to be hitting orange numbers. Your frost road, your 4th ability, your 1st, or your 3rd. It's orange all day, 24/7. Sometimes you'll see a little white, but that's just the damage over time that you're seeing. Now when it comes to a reactor, the two stats at the bottom, the main one you want is skill cooldown and skill crit hit damage. You also want to make sure that it is a chill and singular reactor as well, because remember, our archetype changed to singular instead of fusion and tech because of the Descendant mod that we are using. Now when it comes to the components, I am running the new hunter set that came out with the void vessel. We're running just a 2-piece. The main reason why is because of skill cooldown. We want as much skill cooldown as possible so we can spam our abilities. We are also running a 2-piece basic set of just HP support and HP support memory, just so I can be a little tanky, not too much of a glass cannon. Now when it comes to your weapons, it's really up to you. There's no weapon that's gonna buff singular or buff any of the abilities. You could probably run a clairvoyance. Unfortunately, I don't have a clairvoyance built up and I'm not familiar with the gun, but if you are and you know that it works, go ahead and try it. This is just what I use. Now for the last and final build, for our bossing, we are using absolute zero again. Many of the mods are the same. The only thing different is we're running a dangerous ambush. We moved the singular over here. The main reason why, we took off the range. I would like to have the range on, but I'd have to get rid of HP probably, and I don't want to be that much of a glass cannon. Also, I maybe get rid of one of these damage mods, but it's for bossing. I want as much damage as possible, so we are rocking the 4-piece crit damage mods with 2 cooldowns like usual. But everything is basically the same as our absolute zero farming build. Now when it comes to a reactor, you obviously want something better. I haven't tried farming for a singular reactor yet. I never had a good one for my Haley. This is one I have and it just worked fine, but obviously I want better, especially for the new boss. But this is what I have for now. The 2 main stats that you want at the bottom is additional skill attack for Colossus and skill crit hit damage. You at least want the Colossus gold. The crit hit damage blue is perfectly fine. From blue to gold, it's literally 4%. It's not really that big of a deal, but you want this to be an ultimate as well. If you do need a reactor for chill and singular for your Haley or Viessa, you come over here to Vesper, scroll down to this area. You want to run this mission. It says 5 minutes, but it takes literally 2 minutes, and the activity will drop about 5 between 10 reactors a run. So go over here and farm, do this as much as possible because it will go away in a week. Now when it comes to components, we are rocking the 4-piece Slayer set. As you can see, you mainly want the defense here, and the HP is a second category, and some MP recovery. The MP recovery out of combat really helps, especially with the Infernal Walker, and obviously, you know, MP recovery in combat, and MP recovery modifier is how much MP you're going to get. So try to get them as much as you can. They don't need to be gold. Blue works fine. It's totally okay. This last one, you don't really need max shield or shield recovery. Whatever you get is perfectly fine. Now when it comes to the weapon, you obviously want to run one that matches your ultimate reactor, but also a sniper works, or the enduring legacy, one of the best guns in the game. This is mainly what I use for bossing when I'm going into Colossus. I just seen the video against Devourer and Executioner. Another thing that helps build, and it's really important especially if you're trying solo Infernal Walker, is your inversion reinforcement. You definitely want this last slot. Every time you activate your ability, you get more range and skill power, and it goes up to 15 stacks, and it will never leave until you leave the activity or you die in game. Another one's good, this one right here. When you're by an enemy, you're gonna get HP back and your MP back, which will allow you to spam more. And this last one's really good against Void Vessel, because when your HP is 50% lower, you're gonna take less damage. This one is good as well if you are doing 400% dungeons. When you have active augmentation that's active, you take less damage. And basically augmentation you want to run with this one. When you kill enemy, you're going to get more HP. So these three are nice combo for 400% dungeon, and then these three are nice for Colossus bosses. Now for anybody who wants a budget build, don't want to put like a lot of catalysts into Viessa at the moment, or don't have the materials, here's a quick budget build you can use. D4 mod slots are going to be your default mod slot that already going to be catalyst as soon as you unlock Viessa. And you have enough room to add on 2 cooldowns and HP and your reactor. If you put 1 energy activator in, just ignore this. Imagine this is not catalyst, it's still going to be at 80. So you have enough room, but I do recommend trying at least put 2 catalysts in, 1 here and 1 here, and you could probably put on another damage mod or defense mod, depends on your play style. But here's just a quick budget build for anybody that needs one. Now let's say you want to use your Viessa for Gluttony and Deathstalker as well. You're going to have to change some mods on your build. You can't use absolute zero build. You will be too squishy. You need to become more of a tank and use a shield build. And if you did make the absolute zero build like I showed you, you will not have to change anything to this build to make it work. All you have to do is, you know, run your 2 cooldowns, 1 defense, 1 biosync shield. This is going to allow you, when you pick up health orb, it's going to give you shield instead. And you're going to run overwhelming shield and an extra HP mod and increase shield. And doing all this, you'll have enough room, 82 out of 85, and you will have 27,000 defense with 14,000 shield, and you'll be tanky enough to survive Gluttony and Deathstalker as well. For the rest of the video, I'm going to show my full gameplay of me against Infernal Walker. So if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have anything for me. I would appreciate it a lot. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. On that note, hope everybody has a great day and night. Thank you for watching.